Yeah, I had a mentor tell me one time that if you find yourself on a dead horse, dismount. And the truth is we needed to move on.
Michael Bolick is one of our state's leaders in entrepreneurship. We're here in Greenville, South Carolina at the Next Center, which you helped bring to life. And your original nanotechnology firm, which is one of the great exits in the region, it ultimately ended up coming back to you a third time, and you were back in that seat in a very tough spot this time, right? So give us a little bit of that background. You started it, you sold it, you bought it back, you were able to exit again, and then from there, what happened?
So the large contract that we landed when I went to sell the company was based on molecular diagnostics for drug metabolism testing. The market was very frothy. It was a great opportunity. We had outstanding technology, and our team was very, very robust. When we sold the company, we had an earnout based on maintaining that level of revenue over a 2-year period.
Totally.
We all were very excited about it because it was the revenue levels were below the contracted levels. So
sure, you felt confident in doing it. Sure.
But God had a different plan because about 6 months after we sold the company, Medicare decided to withdraw reimbursement for the test. So that was a kick in the gut. We went to the Brits and said, look, we in our planning, we always anticipated it could be this, but none of us expected it. No other CEO expected it as well. So we can either shut it down or we can rebuild. And they, to their credit, said, let's build an assay set. So we worked with our partners at Greenville Health System and some other hospital systems, again, institutional support from SCRA and SC Launch. And we were able to rebuild a whole new suite of cardiovascular assays that were very, very promising, but had not been demonstrated to have clinical utility yet, which means no reimbursement. So right about the time we built out the plan to go to demonstrate utility, which is a sales process and a lot of money. So just as we were ready to launch that effort, after a 1.5 years of investment, the chairman of the company was replaced, and the new chairman didn't want to go in that direction, and so they were going to shut the business down.
As happens in big companies, right?
It
We were talking to Pete Barth earlier this morning about his startup that became a rounding error for the company that they ended up selling, and they ended up killing it. So new chairman, they decide, no, this isn't for us.
Yeah, this isn't direction we don't want to go in anymore. We need to really stick to our knitting, and they said we're going to shut it down. So I had been talking with some Israeli firms about offering the technology that we had developed to them in a cross-licensing or in a sales position. I couldn't get that deal across the line in time, so they offered me the chance to buy the company another time. So I really prayed about it, took it on, and I gave myself 6 months to get that deal across the line. And we almost got it there, but we just didn't quite get it there. So that was the first time I had to shut a company down.
Well, shutting a company down is a badge, sadly, for all of us that we end up having, right? If you do it long enough, you're going to have to shut one down. So how did you handle that emotionally? I mean, I just think it's an incredibly interesting thing that here you have made a ton of money off the company, but it's still your baby, right? You do care about it, and now you're getting the opportunity to shut it down, which is painful.
Yeah, I had a mentor tell me one time that if you find yourself on a dead horse, dismount. And the truth is we needed to move on, and it was very difficult. It was at this time I was like a teenager.
Yeah, right.
It was very difficult to make the decision, but once we made the decision, fortunately our team was all placed with other manufacturers and other technology providers here in town, and it was a sad day, but we did it. And then I took some time off on a sabbatical, and at the time I wasn't sure what I was going to do next, and I came across a business opportunity brought to me by one of my business partners, a guy named David Pence, who's been a friend of mine for 18 years. And he'd been into blockchain for some time. Bitcoin, I didn't even know how to spell Bitcoin. It's BTC now, by the way.
Right.
So David and I went to one of the guys that was in my earlier exit, a fellow named Spencer Smith, and the three of us started a business in 2017 called Treis Blockchain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a process full of volatility, but I'd rather be doing this than anything else. I'm more excited about what we're doing now with Treis in the blockchain arena than anything I've ever done before. So you just got to get up and keep fighting.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, you clearly showed how to win and then and how to exit out of it, but then also now that your new venture is pretty exciting too. So I'm happy for you. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for watching Entrepreneur Studio. I hope you've learned something today. Please subscribe to the channel so we can keep giving you new business ideas.